Stephen Naismith has called for patience, but according to his former teammate Kris Boyd, there might not be much patience left with the Hearts fan base, and he could be gone if this poor run continues. Welcome back, guys, to Sort of Scotland TV. Stephen Naismith the other day asked for patience. He said that we're doing a rebuild, lots of players were fitted into the squad. It was going to take time. I thought that excuse wasn't good enough. I thought we had a good team and we were adding additions to it. It's not like we're completely rebuilding from scratch. You know, we had the third best team last season. And yes, it's good to bring in players that you can add to the team that can improve the team, but not at the expense of this awful start to the season. So I didn't want to hear any patience excuses from Stephen Naismith, and Kris Boyd thinks that that's kind of the same. He doesn't believe that, you know, patience is necessary, and he doesn't really believe that patience is going to happen. He thinks that Hearts should be doing a lot better than they currently are right now, and you can't disagree with that. Kris Boyd, though, I mean, he knows all about his team underperforming. Just look at Rangers, you know, they've been really bad. So, I mean, Kris Boyd is no stranger to this. He's going to call a spade, and Hearts haven't been good enough. So, Kris Boyd was given his prediction for the Scottish Premiership table, and he predicted Hearts to finish 5th. Believe it or not, he thinks Hearts will get 5th. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or to take that as a dig, because yes, we are struggling big time right now. We're down in 11th place. I believe it's 11th, might be 12th, but I believe I'm scared to look that far down the league table. The point is, right, we are right down there. We've only got 1 point, a point that we got from Rangers. So, I mean, to get 5th sounds good, but at the same time, I do believe we've got a much better squad than the rest of the league. Even from this bad position, Hearts should be able to bounce back. We're only 4 games in, honestly. 4 games in. It's been poor, but it's not like we are half the season in and we're in 11th place. You know, it's not like that. We're 4 games in. If we start turning it around now, I see no reason why we still shouldn't be able to finish 3rd. Yes, we're 11 points behind, but Aberdeen, they might struggle. They might hit a bad run of form. I mean, realistically, all it takes is Aberdeen to have 3 defeats and a draw, and for us to win 4 in a row, and then we're level. You know, that's not impossible, and there's a shitload of games to do it. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's what Kris Boyd had to say. He said, quote, "I've been very disappointed by Hearts so far. They've played 2 European games in addition to their domestic duties. It's not as if it has been a hard shift for them. Do I fear for Stephen Naismith? Yes. If their poor run continues for another week or so, they're going to have to start getting results. I'm predicting 5th, purely on the size of the club and the expectations, because right now, they're a million miles away from where they should be, but I do think they will improve." End of quote. So I think the key there is that Kris Boyd does believe that Hearts will improve. But I mean, how could we not improve? How could we not improve on what we're doing right now? If we don't improve, then we're going to be in a relegation battle, and that would be insane to even think of that. So look, we are going to improve. We are going to get better. Big question is, how much are we going to improve? And are we going to improve enough to claw back this poor start to the season and finish where we should be finishing, in 3rd place? And if you ask some people, if you ask Ewan Cameron, he believed Hearts were going to finish 2nd. He thought Hearts were going to split the Old Firm. Now, I mean, the Old Firm still might get split this season, but I highly doubt it's going to be Hearts doing it, because at the moment, you know, we're just not there. And I mean, it's one thing catching Aberdeen, whether we can pull this sort of gap back and catch Rangers, I'm not so sure. I think if we were going to beat Rangers, we would have had the start that Aberdeen's had. So, yeah, I mean, 5th place, it sounds about right. Would I be happy with 5th? I mean, probably not. I think that outside, I can accept Aberdeen beating us, but I still think we should be beating every other team. And when you think about it, some of the teams you'd expect us to be competing against for that spot, like a Kilmarnock, they've been really poor as well. Hibernian are struggling, and St Mirren have just had an average start to the season. So we should be able to. Fourth is the minimum. 4th is the minimum I would accept. If we get 4th, then I wouldn't be too annoyed, because I do accept that Aberdeen are a good team and they're already 11 points in front, but I still think that 4th should be the bare minimum. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know if you agree with Kris Boyd. 5th place. And who knows, 5th place could be with Steven Naismith, it could be without Steven Naismith. Boyd seems to think if Naismith doesn't start performing, if he doesn't change the results, then he'll be gone. And we know the next game is against Celtic. It's a great chance to, start changing it around. A win against Celtic could massively, do a lot for Hearts and the momentum and changing the season, but at the same time, the likelihood is it's going to be another defeat, and right now we cannot afford that. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. But until then, I've been Sun Scotland TV. Thanks for watching, and peace.